Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to compare again the Prismacolor Premier color pencils with the polychromos, and I'm going to show you how I'm blending each brand. This video is quite similar to Prismacolor versus polychromos I've done some months ago, and it went so well that I decided to do another one. In case you want to see a longer version of this video or for any other video tutorial and other fun rewards, check out patreon.com/Angie K. And if you want to see the previous version, wait for the link at the end of this video. I decided that I should be talking more to the camera because the reason why I made this channel was to, be friends with you. And I just want my videos to be something like a hangout where we can draw and learn together. In case you believe that this is a good idea, leave me a comment below. So let's get on to the tutorial. For the first example, I will be using polychromos color pencils and Winsor & Newton smooth paper. I'm doing a very light layer with the ultramarine blue. Don't add pressure to it, otherwise you will damage the tooth of the paper. I'm adding a very light layer with indifferent blue, and I'm doing the same thing with the cobalt blue. For the second layer, I'm adding a bit more pressure, but I'm kind of fading out the color when it's near to another color. I hope that makes sense. For the third layer, I'm adding again more pressure. And for the last layer, I'm adding the highest pressure while I'm trying to cover the paper completely and blend the three colors together at the same time. For the second example, I'm using the same technique, but this time I will be using alcohol to blend the colors together. So I did two layers, and on the third one I blended the colors together with alcohol and a cheap Bristol brush. So the alcohol not only helps the colors blend together better, but it covers the paper completely by spreading the colors in all the right places. The next step is to add the final layer of color pencils, but you have to be sure that the paper is completely dry, otherwise you will damage the paper. After I did the final layer, I'm using again the alcohol one last time to blend everything together. It also takes away some of the shyness of the color pencils and makes them look matte and more realistic. For the third example, I will be using the same technique, but this time I will use the Colorless Blender from Prismacolor. So the first layer is done, adding a bit more pressure for the second one. Fourth and final layer. And now I will blend everything with the blender, starting from the lightest color to the darkest. So in general, for the way that I'm working with the polychromos, I have to say that the layering is quite slow, because they are oil-based pencils and they're a bit harder than the wax-based pencils, and you might damage your paper. For the three examples that I've showed you, my favorite one is to blend color pencils with alcohol blender. It's too stiff and sometimes you get a wax buildup. For the first example, and for not using anything, I just have to say that I feel like there is something missing, so I always have to use another medium to blend my color pencils. For the second example, I will be using Prismacolor Premier color pencils and a cheap drawing pad I bought. Now let's blend the Prismacolors. I'm using Blue Slate, China Blue and Indanthrone Blue, and I'm doing the first layer with the exact same way I was working with polychromos. Second layer, adding a bit more pressure. Third and final layer, adding the highest pressure. For the second example, I will be using alcohol for the blending. I did 2 layers and now I'm blending. Let it dry and then continue to the third and final layer. And then blend everything with alcohol again. For this one I did only 2 layers and I blended everything with the blender. So these are the results. So for the way that I'm working with Prismacolors, I don't like using my Colorless Blender at all because it makes the wax buildup even worse. My favorite way again is using alcohol. It takes away the wax from the paper and you can add even more layers. It does work the paper a lot, but I'm using Bristol Smooth 300 GSM paper, so it's not a big deal for me. For the final comparison, I believe that both brands are fantastic for blending. It might be a little bit easier and quicker to blend with Prismacolors, but in the end you'll have the same results. It all depends from the way that you are working and what brand makes you feel comfortable. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone!